awkward. I'm joking.
My baby's crying, I gotta go. Hey, welcome to 42, Two Souls, One Journey, a raw and unedited look into our lives as humans. Based on the 21 grams experiment by Dr. Duncan MacDougall, who concluded that the human soul weighs 21 grams. 21, 21, 42, get it? Haha! On this podcast, we get to explore that no matter what our lives look like on paper, our souls will journey similarly. Okay, I feel like I have to give a laughter warning for this next person we're going to introduce because even though I haven't seen her in forever and having a chance to speak with her, there's an instant laughter that's going to come out. So just be prepared. That's all I got to say. Like, stop looking at her pretty face, but just realize we're going to laugh like hyenas. In this episode... Okay, in this episode, we're speaking with actress, YouTuber, dancer, love of her life, Rihanna's doppelganger. But to me, she will always be this mischievous little Tajik troublemaker, my dance partner on multiple occasions across Canada. I feel like we grew up as artists. We even started in a music video where we were lovers. I know, imagine that. The open-hearted, the ball of love, the one, the only, Nilofar Dadikhuda.
I'm gonna give my own drum roll. Thank you.
Like,
Thank you for
why
having
am I even
me.
surprised? Of course you are.
I leave nothing on the table. What do you mean? Am I under the fan? What do you mean?
You mean you leave everything on the table? You're like, I'm gonna come with all this, and here you go. If you can't handle it, get out.
Go big or go home, honey. You know what you were dealing with when you said, "Can you be part of my 42?"
Actually, I feel like I knew this little girl the moment I met her. So, picture this, people. We're in a dance space. All the dancers who know each other, and then there's Nilofar and her friend Fariba sitting in the corner, all like shy and quiet. What were you, 11, 10, 14?
I think I was like 11.
Yeah.
No, I was like 12. Fariba was like 10. Probably.
Okay, so probably the youngest dancers in this troupe. So they're sitting in the corner, just shy and like watching us. But this little one had this mischievous look on her face where she was like, and instantaneously was like, I gotta go say hi because that soul is calling my soul. And like, I don't care how quiet she's trying to prove she is. It is not true.
The moves like wild, and you knew that right away.
Like, I'm like, why? Like, Fariba was definitely behaving. I feel like Fariba was like the tamer one. So you were just sitting there because I think most of us knew each other from somehow, and then it was just the two of you were new into the group.
Yes.
And so you were just like shyly sitting, but I was like, this little one. And I wasn't wrong.
No. Well, everyone but me.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you were thinking, and you got it right. You knocked it out of the park.
Because I think my soul was like, I know that little soul. Like, it was this little artist soul that maybe we were taught to be in these boundaries, but we really weren't a part of these boundaries.
Exactly.
And, like, you know,
and we connected right away. It's like I knew you. I'm pretty sure at that time my English was broadcast too, and you understood me, and like we just clicked from day one, from that moment. And I'm like, and you were so nice and welcoming, and you know that's really comforting at a young age because especially like we were the only young ones amongst all these adults, and then you have you to, you know, make us feel welcomed and make us feel like we are on your level. It was just out of this world for both of us. So I was comfortable with you right away, and I'm so glad that happened because I think that was one of the reasons I am who I am today is because of that experience that I experienced at such a young age with you and with the whole, you know, art. It's been a part of my life for so long, but that was like the foundation of it, and I think it really made me who I am today. So I hold my hands to you. So thank you.
Oh my god, thank you for saying that. That feels really nice because I feel again like from a moment of seeing you, there was such a connection. Like I didn't not explain it, but I was like, I know that little person. That little person reminds me of me, and I feel like as art, like for me I was 30 at that point, so for me it was just the start of my artist journey, and I feel like we both got to become as artists, and we got to explore, and we entered spaces outside of that community to push
Exactly.
and try. It was so fun, and
Yeah.
it was fun to do these with you, like to
Oh my God.
go on a fringe stage and be comfortable and be like, oh
Mhm.
yeah, but I know this person and I know how they move.
Exactly. No, you open the doors to so many different art forms for me, and you always thought of me when something came up, and you just always gave me the opportunity to be a part of something great, and you never forgot me, and I'm forever grateful. Like you paved my childhood to what it was.
Oh my god, that sounds very. Thank
So
you.
he paid me to say all of this.
I mean, listen.
I have a script in my Gmail.
I mean, she doesn't because she doesn't read any of her emails. So,
I didn't get it, Shavik.
I mean, thank you for saying those kind of things about me, but I think you showed up. Like, I think any
Yeah.
of the opportunities that I presented or I wanted you to be a part of, you showed up to those things, which was great. Like I
Thank
have
you.
photographs of like in some of my
Like,
drag performances, you being there. In my big drag performances, you being there
yeah.
in front of Mobaba,
Yeah,
in
I
front of
was one of your backup dancers with Farah Kamani, right? Your
yeah,
sis. So that was an experience.
it's been
I've
a fun
done it
journey.
all.
I feel like my inner Beyonce came out as your inner Beyonce was coming out.
Yeah, seriously. I don't know who I was that night.
I mean, none of us did. But now here you are. You're a mom. Like I feel like is that insane? So let's just go straight to that. Let's go straight to your mom. You're married and you have a mom. Like, first of all, is Dadikuda still your last name?
Dadikhuda is still my last name. No, we haven't had the time. It's honestly such a hassle to like change all your documents. Like he's worth it and all, but goddamn.
You married him, so it's
So
got to
we
be
have
worth
to
it.
like, yeah. No, I don't want to remove my name, but I do want to add just his to mine. So,
Okay.
um, when the right time comes, I'll do it. But right now, with everything being on lockdown, it'll just postpone everything. It's just such a hassle. So, but I've been thinking about it. But I do want to just add his to mine and not remove mine at all because my mom got to keep hers, and at the
Yeah.
end of the day, as much as she loved my father, she's glad that she still has, her last name to her. So.
So is that
Yeah,
so like you come from a Tajik culture. So is
yeah.
that like I feel like in the Iranian culture women get to keep their last name. Is that similar in the Tajik culture? Like even though
Honestly, yeah. The thing is that you have a decision. Like it's not frowned upon if
okay.
change it or if you don't. It's really just up to your decision. It's especially within my family. My family's always been open-minded, so whatever decision I made, but because of like the sentimental reasons of my last name, because of my father not being
Yeah.
with us anymore, that's exactly why I still want to just keep it around, and even named my son after my father. So it's like it's just a whole different meaning for me personally. But if the tables were turned and we were in a different situation, then I would definitely just take his name. But
Yeah.
even like I told you before, like my mom didn't change her name, and it was not a big deal within her family. And so it's not like a cultural thing for us. It's just it's your own choice. So I think that's the beautiful part with my family.
Right. I feel like if it's the 3 points you already hit that we're going to talk about. One is your dad,
Yeah.
your mom, Dodi, and
Oh my
being
gosh.
Tajik. Like three
Yeah.
massive things. First clarification: did you marry the soccer player that you were dating from years ago? Is this somebody else?
No, this is somebody else. Awkward. Okay. First of
Okay.
all, they don't look the same, honey. Where's the memory?
I mean, they kind of look the same, no? Okay.
Second of all, man's name was not Jafar. Okay, I'm joking. No. Do you remember that?
Oh, I remember Jafar. Like,
No, no. The soccer player was he was half Spanish but half Egyptian, but he looked
okay.
more to the Egyptian side. But my husband is from Dominican. He's like full on a Latin American. So yeah, he's from the Dominican Republic. But thanks, Shafiq.
No,
It's
I mean, I said all.
it's so funny Speaking of the soccer player I dated for 8 years, and goddamn, nothing happened. And then I dated this one for 6 months, and he's like, I'm locking it in, and I'm like, damn straight you are, you know? Don't waste my time no more. I'm joking. Yeah.
Well, I think that's it though. I think because you dated a guy for so long, I just assumed you would marry him. And
Exactly. No, you was ever right.
yeah,
Every right.
well,
By the way, Shafiq is really red right now.
it's because I put too much blush on. That's why. I mean, I have to deal with the makeup queen. You don't like
not
it?
even, not
Hello.
anymore.
Well,
I
maybe.
put on purple. Do you see? I put on purple and blue for you.
Thank you. I put on. I did my Jennifer Lopez for you. I did black.
It's really nice. I love how glowy you are. You just outshining me as you would always, but
Well,
whatever.
thank you for allowing me to do it because I feel like if you knew this was gonna happen, you would have stepped it up.
Clearly, I didn't know.
I mean, but it is my podcast, so I think it's allowed.
I
Thank
know
you for allowing
exactly.
that. Yeah, yeah.
I got you, honey. No.
So
Yeah, so
you
the
married?
soccer player is finito, yes.
I don't even know. Like we're over him. I don't even know what his name was. Dad. Yeah.
Mm. He loves you.
So the purpose of this podcast specifically is to speak about love because from the moment I met you, love was such
Mhm.
a like it's in your body. You emulate it, like, and everything you do, like you love life. You love. You love doing it. Like you don't do anything unless you love it. Like I've seen when you don't like things and you're kind of a brat, but when you love it, you are in it to win it.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
but so
for saying that.
so let's talk about so like like you come from so the typical perception is that you come from a primary culture, and that women are not allowed to be as strong or do things as men do. That is completely the opposite in your family. Like it's
Oh
not.
my, yeah.
Yeah, and
And I've seen that ever since. But I when I think about it, both my family, like my father and mother's side, they're both come from a very artistic family. But the thing is, my dad's side is much more, what's the word for it? They're more traditional and more conservative.
okay,
But my mother's side is like the wild side, like do whatever you want, free riders, whatever you may call them. So I have like the best of both worlds. But my father had siblings who were, an aunt was a professional dancer in Tajikistan, like in Badakhshan.
yeah,
I think that's where I get my skills from. But then my acting side is my mom's side. Like both her sister did acting in Tajikistan when they were young. They were in movies, and I was like, and then it's so funny. Both my parents are like, "Why are you so artistic?" And it's like, as if they're questioning me. What do you mean? Both sides are in the arts. Like, are you kidding me? No wonder I'm like a weirdo and I like love art. And my energy is like so out of there all the time. So it's like it all made sense to me later on when I found out like my aunt did this and
right,
my dad's side did this, and I'm like, so I think that's where the open-mindedness comes from. But I think in Tajikistan itself,
yeah,
we have so many artists, we have schools, dancing schools, like insane amounts. So I think arts was always instilled in us and in our culture and in our country, that
right,
it was never really frowned upon, unless if you really came from like a traditional, conservative family, then they would have their own set of rules. But in general, I feel like Tajikistan is very artsy. Even if you ever like end up going, you'll see like there's art everywhere. The president, we've had the same president for over 30 years, but he's always like putting artistic shows for them, and have all these concerts like once a month. So it's always been a big thing.
oh well, thank you for educating a bitch about that because
Oh, no.
my assumption is that it wasn't, and like that you would have to fight for this and to be allowed to do this. It was so
No,
true.
I'm sure at one point it was, but ever since that I've been exposed to it and I've been alive, I've never really had that sort of struggle with it. to be honest. And so, especially coming here,
Yeah.
I was like thrown onto the stage basically. And then that's how I found out, like, hey, I kind of have something here. So other than that, I had no idea because I was younger and I was busy playing games and stuff. But when I came here and I was a part of the community, and we did like a talent show for Rihanna, and that's when we both like realized, oh, we really enjoyed this. Like, let's see where this goes. And I mean, she stopped at one point, but I just continued. Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't. I feel like you soared. Like you were like set your eye on the prize, and then you just went for it. You were like, "Here's what needs to
Yeah.
happen, and here's how I'm gonna make it happen." And like your family was super supportive about it,
Yeah. Yeah.
and really pushed you to get to where you are. Right? Like you were in LA
Yeah.
at some point. Like so, you did go out to LA to do acting,
Yeah,
and
I did. I went to an acting academy there
yeah,
for about 5 months. Amazing experience. And then my father got sick, and everything stopped, halted,
right.
and then, to be honest, and then I don't know, one thing led to another. Now I have a husband and a child, but I really want to get back into it, and I miss it so much. I still do dancing.
Right.
I did like Central Asian dance classes on my YouTube channel, and here and there I performed at private events. But right now, I really want to concentrate on getting back to acting, and I would have to like um do the whole headshots and stuff. My God, my last headshot, it was like 6, 7 years ago, and I do not look like that person anymore. So
Yeah.
yeah, my family has always been very, very supportive.
Yeah. I mean, one, I think I can't wait for you to get back into acting because I think the last, when you Google Nilla for her last acting
Mhm.
gig was Disconcentolis. I'm saying that completely wrong.
This is
Instrumental.
lattice. Oh my God, that never
Yeah.
even came out. I'm still so angry.
Oh, how did
I
we get it out?
know. It's so funny. The director and the producer had a thing, and I don't know if I'm, but
I will not send
let's
this
just
link to
say they
them.
don't talk anymore. Okay, they
Okay,
don't talk anymore. So I don't know what happened to the damn movie. Man, you just put your feelings aside and just
yeah.
anyway.
But that's normal in the acting in this world
Yeah,
of creativity, right? Like you create something, you
yeah,
put it out there. Sometimes it's successful, sometimes it isn't, and sometimes it takes
yeah,
so
exactly.
many unsuccessful things to get to a plot that's
Exactly,
that works for you.
exactly. It's all
Yeah.
about the experience, and I had a wonderful experience with that because it felt like a real acting role, and I was the main lead, and I was like, May, like I love being center of attention, but goddamn, that was too much attention. But
I mean, you're a liar. You're like, I got all this attention and they asked me to do it, so I'm gonna go all out. Too much attention.
man, you could see that through the camera. God damn.
Honey, I know you well enough to, like, we're the same person that way. I'm like, oh, you want me to be the lead? Okay. I'm gonna pretend like I'm not. I'll be like, shy.
I'm gonna give it to someone else, but then I'm gonna look at them like, try it. Just give it back to me.
I know. I'm also like, people are like, you want to be a background dancer? I mean, I could be your background dancer, but I'm gonna outshine you. So should I just take the lead role? I mean, you'll get there soon. Don't worry.
Your
um,
time will come.
your time has. So let's talk about this. Like, so my memory of your dad is this one phone call I made to your house when, I mean, you were pretty young, I think, and he was like, there's a boy. He was like, who's this? It's a man's voice. What are you calling for my daughter? And I was like, I'm calling from Kane. It's for a Kane thing. And I think it was like I wanted you to be a background dancer for me to be doing drag, but I was so scared of your dad. Then I was like, yeah, okay, thanks, bye. And then I think I like emailed you or texted you and be like, hi, I called your house and this is what happened. Hope you don't get in trouble. Just say it's from Kane. And then was the funeral, right? And then I feel like, and then I met you guys after the funeral, and it's such a like at that moment I remember being scared of him, and then having lost a parent recently, being like, oh, like you know, parents come to this world to protect you and save you and want to take care of you. So of course, like this is how I speak to any of my sister's boyfriends. I'm like, what do you want? I'm sitting outside with a shotgun. Meanwhile, hello. Like I'm the least nervous, right? If you met me, you're like, this guy's gonna hit me. Um,
No, yeah, you find the meaning behind it all and why they did what they did, and it's the sad truth is you realize it after, because in the moment you're just, oh my God, especially for a girl. He was very protective of me, and you know, but the thing is, you know what, you have every right to feel that way, because all of my friends felt that way with him, because his exterior was so strong, and
Yeah.
he held such a presence to him that even when he entered the room, people would always look, and he just had that strong aura. But let me tell you, he was the biggest teddy bear inside. I
I
can't
believe you.
even just, yeah. I don't even know like where to begin, because every time someone would be over, I don't know, maybe he felt shy, like I should, keep my strong gaze at them, but deep inside, secretly, he'd be like, did you feed them? Are they okay? Are they comfortable? Do they need anything? Like, he was that type of person, always concerned for the well-being of others, and especially if they're in his presence and in his home, he has to make them feel welcomed and, loved. And so it was just, yeah, I always have to explain that. And I'm like, every right, my
Yeah.
friends, even Fariba's, or not, no, not Fariba, like school friends from high school,
Yeah.
they're like, hey, we want to come over, Lala. And I'm like, yeah, come over. And then they'll be like, wait, but is your dad going to be home? And I'm like, yeah, but that's okay. And then they're like, no, it's okay. Just let me know when he's not. And I'm like, my God, that's not that big of a creep. Jesus. But they meant it in a nice way. Like, we don't want to bother him, He's just.
He scares the living shit out of us. Yeah, I mean,
And
that's
there's another funny story. It was me and Fariba, because Fariba and I used to go to the same high school. This will be quick. And I forgot to do the dishes when we came home from school. I forgot to do the dishes, so we were chilling in the living room, and I hear my dad coming from work, and he sees the kitchen messy. Like, he doesn't like messy. He was such a neat freak, and so he's like, "Nilofar, why didn't you?" But in like a loving way, like, "Why didn't you wash the dishes?" La la la, like la. And then he looked at me, and he's like saying all this, and then Fariba like just pops her head up, and he looks at Fariba, and his attitude completely changed, and he's like, "Fariba, how are you?" Completely different person. And I was like, and she's like, ah. That was the type of person he was. He was very strong with his family,
right.
and he set his rules, and he took care of us so well.
Yeah.
But when it came to other people, he was so soft and so wonderful and so caring.
But the way you describe him is how I think of you. Like, you walk into a room, there's
Yeah,
a presence about you. If people don't get to know who you are, like people are like, if like I've seen you walk into a room as an adult. Like as a kid, maybe it was different, but I've seen you walk into a room as an adult, and people are like, "Oh my God, who's that stunning, beautiful woman?" And meanwhile, you're like, "Oops, I just tripped over myself." Like I've been at cast parties with you where men are like, people are like, "Who's that girl?" And you're just like,
really? Why do you never tell me this? Because you don't want my head to be big?
well,
Whatever.
yeah, you know what would happen if I told you this. You'd be like, "Oh my God, me? They're talking about me? Well, like this." But really, like, that's the presence that you walk in with, and then people have to break into this shell. I mean, they don't have to break into shells maybe as strong as your dad
Yeah.
does, but like, if you get to know you, you're like, oh, that girl, she just tripped over herself in the bathroom 5 seconds ago. Like, I think you missed this.
Thanks for pointing that out. Now people won't look at me the same way.
I mean, if they look at your YouTube videos, it will be. They
So
can't.
cringe. So cringe. Stop.
So I mean, much shout out to your dad and love to him, because I think like there's so many parts of him. I mean, I didn't get to know him, but as we talk about him, and as
Yeah.
I've heard stories from your mom about him, there's so much of him still alive in you, and I can't wait. One of the magical things about having people transition from this world to the next world is you get to see them in other things. So when Gulzar passed away, my mom passed away, we went to Slima's son's birthday party, which happened right after, and we were all like, "Oh, should we do this? It's only been less than a week." Like, we knew she would have wanted the party to continue, and then we saw him dancing, and I was like, "There she is." She was in him, because he was like, it was the first time he was like his second birthday party. He was just like on his own, just doing his thing, and we just sitting up far looked at each other. We're like, "Oh, there's your mom. I'm so glad we did this birthday party, because she's
Yeah.
physically no longer with us, but her
Yeah.
soul is." So I can't wait to
Yeah.
I can't wait for Daddy Dodie to show up and Baby Dodie and be like,
Oh my God. Yeah. And you know, funny thing you say that because he's done already some things that are so like my dad. Okay, I don't want to put my dad on blast, but he was a farting machine. And my son, my God, he would just, he would just smile and a fart would come out. And you're just like, what the hell? How?
Well, what a good.
But you know what I mean? It's those little
Yeah,
things.
yeah. It's a memory of your dad, though. Like it's a reminder that
Yeah, no.
the spirit never leaves, like the soul never leaves. It's still around us, right? Yeah.
Exactly, exactly,
Um,
exactly. I
speaking
mean, his
of,
personality is just starting to come out, so there's going to be more things where he's going to be like, you know, reminding me of my dad. But it's just even like right now, and like, yeah, I mean, if you hear the story of how we decided on his name, you would be like, you would be shocked. Every time we tell the story, everyone's just like, wow. He basically, my son basically picked his own name because at the hospital, you don't you have 30 days to pick his name. So we were always contemplating. We had a list of names of what we wanted to name our son.
right.
And we just at one point, and it was near my father's death anniversary. So we're like, okay, if it's like really close, like even a day or two, it's going to be like my father's name. But he was born like a week and a half later. So we're just like, okay, I don't know. Like we have so many names. And we're like, you know what? We're going to let him pick. So we put his little hand in a bowl full of like different names, and we were mishing it around with our hand with him because obviously he can't move his hand. But a paper got stuck in between his hand, like his fingers, and we picked it, and it was my father's name. And I was like, oh, okay. And then for fun, my husband did the same thing. We were just like, okay, let me see who I'll pick. He picked my father's name again. And I was like, oh my God, I promise on my dad's grave this happened. Like, I'm not even exaggerating.
Yeah.
And then I did it, and it was my dad's name. And but my mom did it, she got another name, and my brother did it, he got another name. But all three of us,
Yeah.
the main decision makers, got my dad's name. And we're like, so we just had to name him after. Even that in itself was a sign, as my dad was like, right here,
Me,
right
me, me.
here,
Yeah.
me, I'm right here. So we had to do it. Yeah. I know exactly what you mean. I know exactly what you mean.
Well, what a great story for your son to take forward in his life with
Yeah.
him, right? And a good tie to his ancestral lineage to move forward. Speaking of decision makers in your household, let's talk about Mama Syra because, like, if anybody exudes love from like it's this much, she can't like when you say you are too much to handle. Mama Sarah walks in with a package of like, "Hi guys, I brought a Walmart full of love for you. Not even just a Walmart, like a superstore Walmart full of love for you." And she's like, "Take it," and you're like, like it would imagine.
Nothing. Can I tell you, nothing has changed. Nothing.
Mm,
You just, if anything, more now. So
of
yeah.
course. Oh,
If I
she.
even am an ounce of her when I'm like at her age, I would be like, kill me now. I am happy. I don't
I,
know if I can ever measure up to her.
I think
She's
you're an
just
ounce of her now already. And what a great goal to aim towards. Like to
yeah.
be. I feel like I would love to be like her now. I don't even want to wait until I'm that old because I'm gonna age very differently. I'm like my body's gonna be really tired quicker, but I want to be like her now, right? Like she
Yeah.
has a container of unlimited love to give to anybody and everybody that crosses her path. I've also seen her at work in a superstore at Walmart, like at Walmart, being kind to people, and I'm like, that guy was a dick, and she's just like,
Mm.
and I was like, why is she being so nice to him? Like I want to be mean to him, and she was just like she's guided by the idea of love. Like it's
Yeah.
her first foot forward is love, which
Mhm.
once we break through your shell, it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean I broke it quicker, but it's
No, it's no, she's known for it. I don't think there's ever been a moment where people didn't describe her as what you just exactly did, and it's
yeah.
just she's the epitome of love. I don't even know. I think that's all moms, but I don't know. Like she's just I don't know what it is.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, you're a mom now. I mean, you're still like so two things. You're a mom who you gave birth during the pandemic.
Okay, yeah.
Like, what was that? What was that like? Like, I can't. I mean, I've never given
It
birth.
was
I have no idea.
it was an experience in itself. Um, being during the whole pregnancy, honestly, I didn't even felt at times I was pregnant. First, I was always at home.
Right.
You know when you're pregnant and you like go to like places and you bumped into someone and they're like, "Oh my God, you're pregnant. Oh my God, you glowing girl." Ah. Sometimes I would like forget that I'm pregnant because these people were so sick of me, my family who see me all the time. They wouldn't tell me like, "Hey, like you're glowing today." No, it's the same shit all day. So they would be like, "Hey, you good? Like he's still in there," kind of thing. And I'm like, "Yeah, whatever." So at that sense, wasn't really like tiring for me. If anything, it was easy because people were always around me, so I'd always have something to do. I was never like, alone. So sometimes when you're pregnant and you have all these hormonal changes going on and happening, and then you're alone, you get lost in your thoughts. And I was always kept busy, and then we were preparing the baby's room, and so that in itself was easy.
Okay.
The appointments were kind of a bit hard because I would want my husband to be there, but at the end, near the end, he couldn't come to my appointment. So I would have to go through all of this by myself. Like the doctor telling me about my baby and the different, stages it's going through. So that kind of was a bummer. The other bummer thing was the actual birth because I only had to choose one person to be in the room with me, and my husband volunteered to stay out because he's like, I ain't gonna pass out and be completely useless for you. So my mom was in the room with me, but the fact that he couldn't even visit, he couldn't, even he had to wait till we were discharged from the hospital to see his son. That was a bit difficult, especially being the first one for him and for
Right.
both of us. And so it came with its complications and like but I mean we had to be safe, take all the precautions we needed so to keep everyone safe and to have a healthy pregnancy stress free. So other than that, I'm grateful. It was easy. I mean, giving birth itself was not easy, but everything else,
Yeah, let's save that for another time. I
yeah.
don't think people here need to know what giving birth feels like. I mean,
Literally, it's such a
I don't want
long
to know. No, you know it's not just like what they make it look like on television. It's not true. I have friends who tell me things, and I'm like, stop.
Honestly, right now it's a blur to me. I don't even remember like half the things, but I knew, and that's usually what happens when you're so traumatized. So
Welcome to trauma, bitches. Yeah.
you blank out, so you don't remember shit.
I mean, I think it's a
It's so
true thing.
traumatizing. Yeah.
Yeah. I think my grandma used to say, like, you're so happy the baby, you forget the pain because of you're so happy. And I'm like, I
Yeah.
think it's PTSD. Like,
The drugs kicked in.
I mean, like, I've broken my leg once or twice, and it's not like that fun. But no, I've heard horror stories about what it really is like. But people really do forget because I think you go into
Yeah,
like, I'm a mom, I have a human to take care of, and you get into that mode.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
which
Yeah.
is which is something like again. I love watching you become a grown up and grow into this person. And like recently, you posted on Instagram, and so this is such a great example. Again, so I remember this little 11-year-old at the corner being like, and then now I get to see this woman, this boss ass bitch who like says, I need to put my family first, and here are my new boundaries, and here's what I need to do. And like
Mhm.
this girl and this woman, same person, but it's such a gorgeous thing to see. Like what
Yeah.
like now you're a mom, you have to take care of this new human
Yeah.
in your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um how are you negotiating boundaries now with these kind of things? Like how have your
I
priorities changed?
haven't really fully experienced it as yet because of everything being on lockdown and really not experiencing full on motherhood, going out on play dates with him and, taking him here and there. So that I haven't really experienced, but even having boundaries within my social media, is a learning experience for me because like I used to do shit for myself, but now sadly I don't come first anymore. So it's sadly keyword. I'm joking. But yeah, I do have to think about my son and even like my husband and then me, and I think that's how the mother instinct came in, you know. It just comes the moment you give birth, and it you don't really understand it until that moment, and you're just like, whoa, it is not about me anymore. And I think that is when I just set boundaries without even thinking of I needed to set boundaries, you know. It just came naturally.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, wow. And then that's when it kicked in, and I'm like, whoa, I am a mom. Shit.
It's so funny. This is
Is it too late to back out? I'm joking. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, just leave him in the corner of the street. See who takes them up for like on garbage day. Oh my god,
Honestly,
Mama Sarah, I'm just joking. Mama Sarah, I'm just joking. Don't come for me. Don't come for me.
no, but thank God, yeah, he's so cute that I'm just like, he's still around. You know, it's just,
For the
no, no, no.
rest of your life, he's around.
But poor guy, he doesn't know who he like, his card. He doesn't know what cards he's dealt with, you know, in his life. He's just has to deal with my weird assness, and he's just poor guy has no idea. Right now, he's so happy, and he's so like, but I'm gonna embarrass the hell out of that kid. Oh my God.
Like I think we're in a world where not normal is normal anymore. Like this is the kind of like we need to move forward in a world where we don't have to be Stepford wives and Stepford people, and it's okay for us to embarrass our kids. It's what happens, and like have a mom with a personality who can show you a different side of the world is a gift,
Yeah.
and you're gonna show him. So yeah, but I think it's gonna make a more evolved human than we were because
Mhm.
you're gonna come fearlessly into this picture and be like, yes,
Yeah.
I'm a mom, but yes, I'm also an actor, a model, an actress who is committed to living life to its fullest. So this kid gets a chance to see it, and they may not appreciate
Yeah.
it like we didn't
Yeah.
appreciate our parents, but at some point, when wisdom is granted for them, they're gonna be like, oh, thank God I got that parent because I'd be a boring ass child otherwise, or I'd be a
Yeah.
basic ass bitch, which he doesn't get to be anymore because you're his mom. So yay for
Exactly.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You,
No, I'm honestly excited. As sad as I like already see him changing so much and going so fast, I'm excited for the different stages because every stage is different with every experience, you know, being completely new. So, you know, the fact that he's, you know, even realizing what's around him and surroundings and learning, and when he starts talking, when he starts eating in itself is already different. So as sad as it is that they grow so fast, it's also exciting because each stage is just as exciting. So I mean, I'm changing and evolving just as fast as him because I have to keep up, you know, and I'm learning, and my mom's always still like lecturing me like, oh my God, you're a mom now, just you know, not as loving as you think she is. But you know, it's a learning experience till
right,
this
right.
day.
She's probably
So
just trying to prepare you to be a good mom. Like, I think that
yeah,
her job is like, I need to give Nila for all the skills to make sure that she does the best job possible. Like,
yeah, because in her mind, she says the woman keep the family together. It
yeah.
You have to be so strong, and you know, she really is tough on me because I see how she is with my brothers.
No.
It's like I'm a stranger and I was adopted, and she's like, because you have to be strong for your family. My sons, they just come and go, you know, they can change lives like this. It's okay. But you, no one will marry you with 3 kids. I'm like, wow.
I mean, if you
Thanks, mom.
yeah, yeah.
Speak your truth, mother. Speak your truth.
I mean, that's a gift you were given from her, which is allowing you to be who you are now. Oh my god, that's so funny. I can't. Like, I feel like I can't wait for another couple years to sort of see what this does for you and how motherhood. I mean, it's just gonna open up a new level to you, right? Like, I feel like there's stages
Exactly.
in our lives that until you experience, you don't know, right? So one is
You don't know
loss,
exactly.
right? Like something you've lost in life, a parent,
Mhm.
people, broken heart when you break up with your first boyfriend, um, being on stage and getting a standing ovation. Like until you're there, it's so experiential. You don't know. So
Exactly.
until you've given birth, you had no idea what it would feel like, and until I think your child hits a certain age, You're not gonna know. What would be funny is that if your child was just this quiet little boy that had zero personality and just sat in the corner and was like, that would be the funniest thing.
I would look at him and be like, you don't have that option, honey.
I mean, I think you have to love
People
him
will
for
think
who
you're
is.
not my child. Huh?
You have to love him for who is, no?
Eh, we'll see.
You're like, can you take this baby with you back to Dominican? Thank you.
No, exactly. I would blame my husband, like, this is your fault. My son is normal. I'm joking.
First of all, normal is not a word we could use. Because that makes us very unnormal. Because we don't fit into those categories of normal.
Never. Oh my God. She's, yeah, no.
So,
Exactly. Imagine it's like the opposite attracting. I'm just like, no, that's why I'm already doing like crazy things with him. I'm always dancing in front of him. I'm always playing loud music. I just need, but what I'm really glad to see is that he's such a people's person. Like, knock on wood.
good.
You know, some babies, you just being in the presence of another person, they start crying. No, he has no problem going to anyone, smiling, laughing, flirting with them with his eyes. And I'm like,
Hmm.
boy, this child is mine. So we have no problem.
I mean, it sounds like it'd be your child.
Yeah.
So that's our time. That's our retainer. I feel like I didn't even get to like talk about how you live life to its fullest, but we'll obviously have to do this again because
Yeah.
there's so much to cover,
It's
and
so fun.
so many fun things are going to come out of this. Like I can't wait to see where you're going to go next in your career. I honestly feel so honored and blessed to be able to like meet your soul at this young age and sort of recognize, oh my god, this is somebody I like to fall in love with your soul at that point and to continue this love
Oh my
affair.
God, me too.
It's so
Me
nice. And
too. I'm so glad that till this day you stuck by me and you didn't throw me off the bus and you didn't think I was weird enough, for you to stop communicating with me. And I
no,
really appreciate it.
you were
I
just
can
weird
honestly
enough to
say
be there.
you are one of my oldest friends. Like, I, you know, sad to say it, and I don't want to spill the beans here, but Freeboy and I don't even talk anymore. So it's literally you
Oh,
and me and just all the way back. So I'm really happy and honored and thank you for all that you've given me and all the opportunities you thought of me and given me, and I am who I am because of you today. So
uh,
thank you. You gave me the confidence to be the woman I am today and the
oh,
mother.
oh my god.
Okay, that's so much pressure on you. You're welcome.
I mean, thank you for all that accolades. I feel like I have nothing. People, I have nothing to do with this.
No, you did, you did.
Yeah, I think I just.
Even my mom raves about you. She's like, Shafiq, you're doing interview? Oh, so good. Like she even knows you were my friend since day one and you supported me and it was all thanks to you that you've opened so many doors for me. So
Well, I feel the
are
same way
you
about
still
you.
in town or are you still on the other side of the world?
I'm in Winnipeg now.
Yeah. So are you
Yeah.
ever gonna come to Toronto?
Don't tell my mom this.
Mm.
But no, I'm not. I already told them earlier. I don't think I'm going to. I think like Winnipeg's offering a space of quietness, a slow down that Toronto doesn't offer me.
Mm,
And
yeah.
I'm getting old now. I know I'm your oldest friend, but I'm also your oldest friend, like numbers wise. And I'm trying to build a different
Aren't
arts
we
career.
the same age? I think we're the same age.
Yeah, of course we are. Under all this makeup, we're not.
All right, I'm older than you. I keep forgetting. Sorry.
Right. So I'm 43, and I'm trying to embrace it and be okay with it.
Mashallah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Thanks.
You
Thanks.
are great.
Thanks. It's all the Botox, and since I'm redrawing my eyebrows in, I'm making them thicker and fuller, so I look like I'm
Hey, you
older.
should shave them more often.
No, at my age, they don't grow back the way they used to. So
They're slower than a turtle, eh? I know.
I'm praying to God, oh my God, please just let them come back. Like there's no other hair, so I'm praying to just come back as thick as luscious as they did before you left them, and I'm never gonna touch them. I messaged my
If
brow guy.
anything, if anything, it's going to be more because you shave them off. And
That's what people say, but I don't know if it's true. Is there a baby in there? Is there a mom in there? What's going
no,
on?
my husband just came from
Oh,
work.
okay. Not the soccer player.
Shut the
All right. So to wrap this session up, we're gonna do a word
fuck.
association.
Shit.
We're
Oh my, what did he say? Oh God.
we can, oh my god.
I'm gonna get divorced after this.
I'm not posting this video. It never happened. Oh my god. Okay. We have to end this podcast, Nilofar. I don't know how to edit, so I don't know how to like cut all this funny stuff out. I'm gonna have to put a caption being like, hold on for a 5 minute of laughter until we can end this podcast.
Turn the volume down.
Okay. You know, I think we're just gonna end this now. Let's forget the word association. I want to thank everybody. Okay. I mean, this was a fair warning to people up ahead that this was gonna happen, and here we are. Okay.
No.
Right. Okay, let's wrap this up. Let's get it back together. To wrap this up, we're gonna play the word association game. I'm gonna throw one word at you. You just throw one word back at me that relates to that. 2020.
Well, I have no words.
Okay. Dance.
Love.
Love. The word is love. The word is love.
Stop it. I can't
Okay. All right, people, we're just going to end this right here because we have to, and we're going to keep laughing. I want to thank everybody for taking time out of their busy day to tune in with Nilofar and I as we laugh and giggle. Oh my god, you're laughing so hard, your makeup red. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to
I was
tune
gonna
in.
take pictures. Thanks, man. I'm joking.
Okay, we're just gonna have to end this way. Thank you for tuning in with Nilofar and I. We hope to see you guys soon. Love you.
You have to learn how to edit this out.